Thanks, Kelly. It's 8:01, so at least on my clock, I know that it lags behind for you. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to do today is begin with our shorter sun salutes and go through Padangusthasana, where we take our toe in the standing series, and then let's see. All right, Karen says, I see your room, it's just that it's lagging behind. So we're going to go through the standing series to Padangusthasana because we do Padangusthasana 3 times in the primary series. Once standing, once like we did last week when we were on our back, and that was the one that I taught. And then the next pose that I will teach after that today, it's where you're actually taking both toes. So imagine being able to stand and take both toes. You're going to end up obviously not being able to stand. So the Ubaya Padangusthasana is taking both toes as if we could do that standing, but we're going to balance on our bottom. And then the final pose that I will teach you today, it's a Paschimottanasana, Mukha Paschimottanasana. There's another word in there, Utthita Mukha. I can't remember. I sent it to you guys last night on our chat. Okay, I really want to remember it. It's one that I just don't think about often enough. Urdhva Mukha Paschimottanasana. So Paschimottanasana is like when we're seated and we go forward in that forward fold, right? So the last one is that forward fold with our hands. We try to get our hands, imagine that we're doing the standing forward fold where we put our hands underneath our feet. It's like that, but we're balancing on our tail. So I'm going to teach you those two at the end of the practice before closing. And we'll kind of but we'll just touch on a few of the first half of primary, just to make sure that we're warmed up good enough to do the second half of primary in our workshop style that we're going to be doing. So today is the last new pose that I will teach you. We will not do Setu Bandhasana. We'll save that for the future. And next week, the plan is to do the entire series. Obviously, it will take a little longer, but we'll be very efficient. We will skip some vinyasas and get through the entire series next week. So here we go. Let's get started with our practice today. I trust that you're both there and you can see me and hear me. Here we go. So I haven't done any additional warm-ups. So my warm-up today will be the sun salutes, and I'm not going to do all 10 sun salutes. So knowing that, I want to make my sun salutes really count even more than usual, meaning I'm going to really think after about 3 sun salutes about my forward fold and giving myself all of the cues to get my whole body warmed up. Bringing the hands together in Anjali Mudra, we'll just do 1 Om and begin the practice. Exhale all of your air. Inhale for Om. Hands to thighs. Yekam. Dwe. Trini. Chatvare. Pancha. 1, 2, 3. Really think about opening your hamstrings. 4, 5. Sapta. Ashtam. Nawa. Deja. Samasthiti. Yekam. Dwe. Trini. Chatwari. Pancha. Shat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sapta. Ashtam. Nawa. Deja. Samasthiti. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. X. 1. In. X. 2. In. X. 3. In. X. 4. In. X. 5. Sapta, come forward. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. In. X. In. X. Step forward. In. X. In. X. Step forward with the left. In. X. In. X. Remember to check your hands. Base of the thumb, first finger base, up to the elbows that are working towards each other, rotating away from the ears. Tail high, heels low, ribs tucked. Five, come forward, inhale, X, in, bend the knees, X. One more on your own. Samasthitihi. Parangustasana. Inhale. Exhale, take the toes. So this is really the new pose that we're going to learn. This pose right here, balanced on our back, on our back side, sits bones. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands underneath. Inhale again. Exhale, 5 breaths. Padahastasana. Last breath. Inhale, head up. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, stand. Exhale, Samasthitihi. Utthita Trikonasana. Last breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Five, Parvrita Trikonasana. Five, inhale up. Exhale, second side. Five, inhale up. Exhale, Samasthitihi. Ardha extended side angle. Five, inhale up. Second side, exhale. Five, inhale up. Rita, second side, or second part of the pose. Getting the twist. Five, second side. Five, inhale up. Exhale, Samasthitihi. Wide leg forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana. Begin with A. Five, inhale, straighten the arms, look up, exhale there, inhale, come all the way up, exhale the hands down. Inhale, tee out the arms. Exhale, inhale up, exhale forward. Five, inhale up. Exhale the hands down. Inhale, tee out. Exhale, interlace. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward. Inhale up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take the toes. Five, inhale halfway. Exhale there. Inhale all the way up. Samasthiti. And we're going to take our Utthita Padangusthasana. I'm going to go to the wall. You do not have to. You can take your knee, or you can go all the way to your toe. Arms should be on the outside of the knee if you're going to take your toe. And just feel this on your body. Sternum high. Hips need to be parallel. Open up to the side. Look over the left shoulder. See if you can get the hips parallel. I'm using the wall as my judge. And five. Inhale, bring it forward. There's a little bow here, and then there's the release, and just hold it. And five, second side. Sternum, hips, five, open up. Five, inhale, bring the feet forward, and release the hands. Oh, there's that little bow, and then release. And five, vinyasa, going to the seated series. Dandasana. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, take the toes, or whatever version you're doing today. Inhale, tall. Exhale, forward fold. Really try to lift on the inhale so that the back is straight. The ribs working their way down the thighs. You should feel the ribs near the thighs. Otherwise, you might be too far. Or you can bend your knees. extra breath here because we're not going to take the other two versions. We really want to warm up the hamstrings. And we'll call that 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Skip the vinyasa. And let's do our backward plank, Purvottanasana. Five, vinyasa. Jump through the seat. Let's do our Ardha Baddha best we can without losing too much time. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Lift for our vinyasa. Second side. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose, vinyasa. Uddiyana Paschimottanasana, so that we can warm up our quads. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose, second side. If this feels tweaky on your knee, adjust for that. Don't injure your knee trying to do this pose. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Vinyasa. Janu Shirshasana, we'll just do the A version. So make it count. If you prefer to do one of the other versions, feel free to do that. Maybe you're working on your foot in the C version. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Lift instead of a vinyasa here. Second side. Stay mindful of what your body needs. Don't push too far. And five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Come forward into your vinyasa. And Marichyasana A. 5, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose, lift. Second side. 5, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose, vinyasa. Vrujyasana C, so we can get the twist. Five, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release, lift, second side. Five, inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the pose, vinyasa. Jump through to Navasana, boat pose. Five, lift, repeat. Keeping the back straight. Don't let the low back become a place to dump the energy. Really pull up out of the pelvis still. 5, lift, repeat. And 5, roll forward into your vinyasa. Padasana. Really a cat back on this pose. 5, Kurmasana. Five, Supta Kurmasana. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Vinyasa. Garbha Pindasana, this is the one where you roll around. You can work on doing your full lotus and getting your hands up through your full lotus, or doing half lotus, just bringing your knees together, pulling them into your chest. And I'm going to roll only 6 times back and forth this morning. Round back. And lifting up as you come up, Kukutasana. Five. And working your way into a vinyasa. Baddha Konasana. Opening the feet up. Engaging the glutes. Sitting tall. Uddiyana Bandha, so a little tuck of the ribs as you come forward. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. And let's do the B version where we round our back, getting the crown of the head towards your feet. Again, engage the glutes on this one. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose, vinyasa. Konasana is next. This is the one where we bring the hands on the outside of the feet, pushing the back of the knees down into the mat so that the heels are slightly off is helpful on this. And then just wherever you can go. And then inhale, see if you can lift your Konasana. If you could keep a hold and just come straight up, that's great. Or release it and bring it back up and hold it here for 5 breaths. Five, inhale, look up. Exhale, cross the legs, release into a vinyasa. Come through to lay down, Supta Konasana. Reclined angle. The feet come over the head if you can. Manage that. And the feet are spread apart. Take the toes. Hold it here for 5 counts. Five. On a big inhale, roll up and hold it. Inhale. Hold it just for a breath, and then exhale, come down. Again, on the calves of the muscles, not on your heels. Vinyasa. All right, Supta Padangusthasana. Going onto your back. And then lifting, so the left hand is on the thigh, holding down the left thigh. The right hand comes up, lifting the right leg, taking the toe, if you can, if that's not accessible, you can have a belt or a towel to help you. And then on an inhale, bring your head up and the count begins. And 5, release the neck, look to the left, open the leg to the right, 5 breaths here. And 5, inhale, bring it back up, lift the head for just 1 breath, exhale the head down, release the right foot, right hand goes on the right thigh, left hand ready to receive the left foot, whatever works for you today, whether it's taking the toe, whether it's setting up with the belt. Give you just an extra second to get ready. And then inhale, lift the head, and the count begins. 5, exhale, bring the head down, and then open up to the left while you look to the right. 5 breaths here. Five, inhale the leg up, and then bring the chest or your chin up to the knee, exhale back down, and Chakrasana is the traditional exit here, which is a backward roll, but for us, cross at your ankles and do a little rock and roll up into a vinyasa. Jump through to lay down again. So Supta Padangusthasana. We're going to take our toes behind our head like Halasana, and we're going to, behind our head, take our toes. And then on a big inhale, we try to rock up and hold our feet up in the air, balancing on our sits bones. If you don't do that the first time, or the 10th time, just keep trying. And we'll try it 3 times today because this is our feature pose. So rocking past, if you can. If not, just watch. Taking the toes, you actually hold this for 5 breaths here. This is a forward fold. And then inhale, try to come up and balance and come up towards your toes. You can give it 3 tries to get up into this position. Breathing once you get here. And 5, just bend your knees, cross at the ankle, and lift. Come on back. Now that you've seen it, maybe you didn't have a chance to actually try it. So let's try that one again and give it a shot. So you're laying down on your back, lifting both feet over, behind, and then take the toes. 5 breaths here. And 5, and then on a big inhale, roll up and try to balance. And 5, cross at the ankles, lift up, vinyasa. All right, just for fun, try it one more time. Maybe we won't hold it all 5 breaths. Take the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretend like you just did your 5 breaths. Inhale, rock up, hold the pose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just cross at the ankles and come forward and lift into your vinyasa. And then come through to lay down one last time. So, Ubaya Mukha Paschimottanasana. It's the same entrance where we bring our feet back, but instead of taking our toes, we take the outside of our feet. And then, after our 5 breaths back there, we rock up, trying to hold the outside of your feet. It doesn't seem like it should be so much harder than taking your toes, but surprisingly, this is not as easy for most people. So bringing your feet up, behind your head, taking your feet on the outside or near the heels. You have your 5 breaths here. It's more towards the heels, and you can bring the femurs back into the pelvis as you rock up. So see if you can do it on a big inhale. Try to come up. If you lose it, you just bend and take your heels and come back into it. Hold this for 5 counts. Eventually, your head is against your shins, and the hands can kind of hide behind the heels. Let's come out of that, do a vinyasa, and we'll try it a second time. So come through, lay down. Legs up behind the head. Take the outside of the feet near the heels. There would be 5 breaths here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then rock up. I can't quite reach while I'm rocking and not come down, so I release and then come back up into it. And then it's 5 breaths here, working on extending the legs, extending the back, and 5. Cross at the ankles, roll forward into your vinyasa. All right, and that's the end of primary series except for Setu Bandhasana. You have now had a sample of almost all of the poses, and now it's time for closing. And you know this whole series, but let's go through it. Let's do our back bend prep, or it might be a full wheel if you want to. I'm going to go up into my back bend prep. You do what's appropriate for you. Can take a little break in between and do 3 of them. I have 1 more to go. I don't know where you are. When you're done with your back bend series, you can bring your knees into your chest. And then roll up into a forward fold Paschimottanasana. This should be a 10 count breath. Really up out of the pelvis, maybe even lifting at your ribs, maybe bringing any roll up out of the way. And 10. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release the pose. Cross into a vinyasa. And then into either legs up the wall or shoulder stand. Salabhasa, Sarvandasana. I come up to the top of my mat because I know that I've got to get my feet behind me. So when you're ready, let's just do 15 counts today on our shoulder stand or variation. Five more. Last breath. And then halasana. Bring the toenails behind the head. Legs are straight. Either keep your hand on your low back, or you can interlace your fingers and straighten the arms if you like. Eight, Pidasana, ear pressure pose. Eight, inhale, bring your feet back up into the shoulder stand, and in either full Padmasana or taking half Padmasana, or you can have just your feet, sole to sole of your feet. 8 breaths here. Eight. And then bring it into a tight little ball. If you're in half lotus, you can change. And 8. Bring your legs into a comfortable position to rock back up. And we will go into Matsyasana. The legs can be straight or in full Padmasana, and you take your hands, you take your toes, or they can just be crossed, whichever one seems best. Come back onto your elbows, recline, and then bring your elbows forward so you can get your sternum up and let the top of your head drop back to the mat. And 8, you can fly your fish from there, or you can go straight onto your back. This is good for the abs. And this one goes to 10. Then carefully lift your head up before you lower your head to watch that neck. You can either go into a chakrasana, that backward roll. You can rock and roll up, or just go to your side and push up into a vinyasa. Now headstand or headstand prep. Take your pick. Just make sure that your elbows are fairly close together, not flailed out like this. They should really come in towards center. And it's really about the shoulders and the arms getting strong here. Without putting the head down, I'm going up into dolphin pose. And I'm pushing away from the mat with my forearms and the pinky side of my hand. Lifting Uddiyana Bandha. Kind of like lifting the navel or the solar plexus towards the backbone. And when you've had enough of this, you go into child's pose. And 8, inhale, look up. Exhale into your vinyasa. And now you're ready for your final 3 poses, which I know you guys can do on your own. Enjoy your Shavasana. Make sure that you take time. This was a big practice. Take time in your Shavasana. It is what we're always heading towards, is Shavasana, to absolutely relax our body after all of the prana that's coming through. So get ready for Yoga Mudra as I give my internal namaste to you and end our live stream. Thanks for coming to this workshop morning on the second half of primary poses. Enjoy the rest of your practice. Namaste.